As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
I had to go with the New York Football Jets. Zach Wilson is back. He's going to be starting this week against the Steelers, and it could not have come at a better time. It's all starting to crash and fall apart there with the Jets. You know, we saw the end of that game, Quentin Williams going after his coach, usually a very reserved guy. Um, you
That
know,
was he got up and flexed, and I was like, oh, it's on. That D-line coach said something that did not make him happy.
yeah, I guess he explained that he was really mad that they continue, like, because they had called an all-out blitz and end up giving up a touchdown. He's mad that they continue to blitz. He wants them to put it on their defensive line to put the pressure on the quarterback instead of adding to the blitz and exposing them on the back end. But anything, it was heated, and the Jets need a little infusion right now. Hey, I love me some Joe Flacco, but they need to see if the young kid can get out there and spark that offense a little bit, try and get them feeling a little bit better. So, and I'm actually excited to see Zach Wilson. I think he's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. He's an exciting little football player.
Do you want to hear something that may now it's good for the Jets that Zach Wilson's coming back, right? There's no doubt about it. Trying to make that guy the face of the franchise, trying to have him develop, like all of that stuff. I was taking a look at the old injury report earlier today. They put George Fant on IR, their left tackle, which means, remember, Mekhi Becton, IR, Fant, IR, which means third string left tackle for old Zach Wilson.
There's a lot of those that are really good in the NFL.
I did some digging. I believe it will be Connor McDermott, who has been essentially a career backup. Not an ideal situation. Now, luckily, TJ Watt not available for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
McDermott he's not still a rotational 3 in the NBA. Now he's playing left tackle for the
I think you're thinking of Doug McDermott, Dougie McBuckets, but no. So yeah, great news for the Jets, but also not so great news for Zach Wilson. Blindside will be protected by a third stringer.
A lot of tight end left this week, probably for the Jets.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, who do you have as your loser of the week?
Oh, so painful to watch. Sterling Shepard, ACL injury. There's a lot of speculation as to what it was going to be. Like it was just under such weird circumstances, but tears the ACL after fighting back from the Achilles the year before. And I always say it, once you cut the body, it all kind of starts to crumble. You know, the way that you're I don't know, anytime you start to mess with your gait and change the dynamics of how your body moves, like you're prone to some other injuries. And the way that it happened, that just made me, it looked like it was something that was linked to something else. By the way, he's just kind of jogging out there and popped his ACL. I hate that for him. Luckily, he's under a great contract.
Yeah, no. And he's had a fantastic career. He's battled injuries, man. He had the concussion stuff. He's had several other things, but the Achilles, the ACL, that back to back, I mean, it's just brutal, right? Call Klay Thompson.
Yeah.
Figure out, because that's tough on you mentally, right? I mean, there's no doubt. So yeah, I reached out to him, told him I love him. And it's just a bummer because he's one of the good guys in the league. Right. Yeah. Always fun to be around. Like, a bunch of guys respect him. He's the longest tenured player in that organization now, which is crazy to think about.
It is.
But
it is.
Yeah, man, we'll see where it goes from here. But because it's such a long journey back from the Achilles. And I've never had the Achilles, but the ACL, man, it's coming all the way back from it's not fun. And to have to do those back to back, man, that takes a toll on you mentally.
Takes a toll on you mentally, obviously takes a toll on you physically. You just said it. He's the longest tenured player there. He's no spring chicken anymore, which is crazy to think about.
He's also their leading wide receiver.
Yeah.
I mean, Kenny Galladay, I don't know what the hell has happened to that guy, but I mean, Sterling leads them in receiving yards.
Yeah.
So it's a big loss for the team. Like, obviously, we're bummed because, we know him. He's an OU guy. Like, he's awesome, but it's also a big blow for that football team.
Yeah. Kenny Galladay's got a big old paycheck too. But hey, I hope Sterling comes back. It's tough, like to be off that long from playing football is really hard to come back from.
Yeah.
Forget the physical limitations and the injuries and stuff. Just being away from live action for as long as he has been, and just have a limited amount and then right back, out is tough.
Yeah. We'll see where it goes from here, but I know that, all OU fans have his back, and, if he's able to come back, I'll be rooting for him again, but it's a long road, but we love you, Sterling. You're the man. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. For my winner of the week, thought about going with Myles Garrett. Whoa. Did you see that Porsche?
Yeah.
First of all, I know you're a big car guy. So was your initial reaction once you found out Myles Garrett was okay? Were you like, not the car?
Well, yeah, kind of. And I love that car. My first reaction is, I guess he said he was swerving to miss an animal, which that's the best car you can be in, to swerve to miss an animal and maintain control. All right. That Correct. Is the one. So I was kind of shocked by that. And I don't know, man, that's crazy. You're right though. The fact that he got out of that fairly, unscathed by the way that it looked. Wow. Pretty lucky.
Yeah. I mean, he suffered a shoulder sprain, a bicep strain, a couple cuts and bruises, but him, the woman in the car with him, both all right, which is, I mean, when you see the car, you're just like, damn, and you hear that it's flipping and like all that stuff. It's just such a scary situation. And a great reminder, people, wear your seatbelt. And that is something that I learned so young in life, because my dad would not put the car in drive, still doesn't do it. Still to this day won't do it. Everyone in the car has to be buckled up before Jim Ikard puts the car in drive.
To me, it's something that I don't even think about anymore. It's just part of like the muscle memory of whenever you get into a car. Like, it's just like an automatic thing for me. Like, I don't even, it's not even I guess it's not even a decision that I even have to encounter every day. It's something that just happens.
Yeah, no. Buckle your seatbelt, people. Wear that thing. All right. I also thought about going with the Brooklyn Nets. Ted, everything's solved for the Nets. Steve Nash, they have media day, right? NBA training camps have started. Steve Nash said him and Kevin Durant talked about Kevin Durant, tried to get him fired. Said, hey, man, we're all good. Now we had the conversation. Glad that's all settled, because that's totally how it works.
Yeah, it's all good until about 6 games in, and then we start to hear some rumors of something. It's just such a mess.
My favorite quote from Steve Nash's media day availability, he said, families have issues. We had a moment and it's behind us. I don't know about you, but like, if one family member tries to kill another, it doesn't it's just not all good, I don't know if that's a great comparison, but I saw that and I was like, if my brother tried to get me fired from my job, I don't know if we'd be all good. It would take some time.
It's all good until you get everyone back in the same room together for like 10 hours or 12 hours a day, right? And then it all starts to rub each other wrong again, and it's only a matter of time before the powder keg goes off.
Yeah, we'll see. I I continue to think that the Brooklyn Nets is the dramatic situation, the gift that will keep on giving. So I can't wait. Cannot wait to monitor them during the season.
They need to just go ahead and do a week by week series. Like just put it together on Netflix or whatever it is behind the scenes. Make it into its own little drama.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Speaking of drama, my winner of the week, the U.S. men's national team. Yeah, we're talking a little soccer here, Ted.
Okay.
And some people may say, things have not been going well. How are they your winner of the week? That's the exact point, because I feel I've been concerned, and we've talked about this a couple times. Like when America's doing something, I'm rooting, man. There's no doubt about it. And even though the World Cup's coming up in November, like I was a little concerned that I would be emotionally invested, because a couple months ago, vibes were strong for the U.S. men's national team. Well, not so much anymore. So I feel like they're my winner of the week, because I feel like I don't have to be as emotionally invested anymore, because they're not going to do any damage in the World Cup. Does that make sense?
It makes sense now, but if they win that first game in their group, everyone's going to dive right back in. You know,
If they beat Wales.
That's just how it goes. Is that their first?
I think so.
Match?
I think their first match is against Wales in Qatar. We'll see, but you want to be carrying momentum into the preparation for the World Cup, right? Well, they got shut out in their final two dress rehearsal games against Japan and Saudi Arabia. So the vibes were good, and now the vibes are not great. And you saw it. What, Gio Reyna? I watched the Saudi Arabia match. Reyna goes out with the hammy. This is a guy that's had a ton of hammy issues. Little hammy tweak, not ideal. Christian Pulisic is probably the only soccer player a lot of people know here in America. I don't know. He's getting a little sassy, sassy. Maybe a little too big for his britches. I don't know. I feel like the U.S. men's national team's kind of down in the dumps when you were really hoping that the vibes would be high, carrying you into the World Cup. Doesn't appear that way. And I feel like that frees me up to care less.
Yeah. Well, I think you're right. But, you know, if they beat Wales, you'll be right back in. And they should. If they can't beat a country with a population smaller than the state of Oklahoma, they've got problems.
It's a good point. But I think I'm going to be a little, probably more of a casual viewer now, with my expectations very low for the men's national team heading into November. We'll see. Maybe they suck me back in, right? But we'll see. All right, for my loser of the week, man, the Phoenix Suns. That situation is very, very interesting. So you've got the Robert Sarver situation, right? He's trying to sell the team. The stuff that he said in the past just seems like an absolute scumbag. So you've got that as a distraction going on. But then they had media day, and DeAndre Ayton said he hasn't talked to head coach Monty Williams since Monty benched him in the Game 7 loss in the playoffs to the Mavs. Like, they have not spoken to each other, which does not seem healthy.
Wow. No. No. Yeah. I mean, you're not on a football team with 105 guys. You're on a small little NBA roster. That's crazy.
I saw some.
That does not seem like a Monty Williams. Like, that's weird. He's like the most engaging, and that's fascinating.
I saw some quotes from him, and it was like, I just wanted to give the guy space in the offseason. And I was like, listen, man, like, you got to say something. Like, there's got to be. And remember, Ayton was going to be out the door, but they ended up matching that massive contract for him. So, I mean, he's locked in there. Now, you can trade him, and I know I'm not sure what the restrictions are on his contract. All the NBA rules there's a lot going on there. But I found that very odd, Ted.
Yeah, completely odd. That's one of the wildest things that I've ever heard of. Like, since he benched him in Game 7, like, so does that mean he didn't talk to him after Game 7? They didn't have an exit interview. They didn't do anything. Just like, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Also thought about going, and I'm not paying close attention to Miami Marlins baseball right now, but I saw it on SportsCenter. Did you see that pitcher that had 3 balks in 1 inning?
I did.
What was that? What, Blyer? I think is his name.
I can't believe that he didn't lose his mind more than what he did. And Mattingly coming out there. I guess maybe technically that's a balk, but that's crazy to call it 3 times on him like that in 1 inning. That's just nuts.
I don't know if you've watched the Tim Donaghy thing, the ref that fixed game or tried to fix games, the official, the NBA official. It kind of felt like that. It's like, all right, how much money does this umpire have on the Marlins losing? Like, that's how it felt.
Yeah, it's weird though. Like, if that was the case, like when you call it once, it's like, okay, that could happen. And he was pissed that you even called it once. Twice that quickly on someone, like, you're drawing a bunch of attention to yourself, right? In the game on what is like a kind of a judgment type of call, but to do it 3 times, that's like you directly inserting yourself into the game, making a big time call over something that, like, if they were complaining about it, and maybe they were, I don't know, but that was wild. That was really wild.
The Mets announcer was like, I've never in my life seen, like, he's just like, I've never seen this. Yeah. None of us have. It was wild. My loser of the week, however, and I'm sorry, man, the New England Patriots. Mac Jones, severe ankle sprain, could possibly need surgery. Definitely going to miss multiple games. Y'all good, man? Everything okay?
Hoyer we trust.
You think they're going to go with Hoyer?
I don't know.
Why not throw Bailey Zappi out there? See what the young guys got. Come on. Throw him out there.
It's such a weird name, and I don't know that I can get behind it.
He threw it all over the yard last year for Western Kentucky. Did it at Houston Baptist. Remember, they almost beat Tech a couple of years back. Just let the young guy get out there and throw it around, because
you never know. You know what you got in Hoyer. Maybe you hit on something with the Zappi kid. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, air it out.
First of all, your Patriots are not winning anything this season.
What do you mean?
That's not a very good football team, man. Come on.
It's early.
I did find this little nugget. Brian Hoyer has lost 11 consecutive starts, which, as you can imagine, is a record for active players.
Okay, put Bailey in. It's just it's a hard name for me to get behind.
You don't imagine a guy named Bailey Zappi out there just slinging it against the Packers at Lambeau this weekend?
No. It could happen. I mean, he obviously can play, but man, can we call him something else? What's his middle name?
I do not know. What happens if it's like Tim? Would you prefer Tim Zappi?
Yeah, yes, I would. I would prefer.
We'll call him Tim from now on.
Tim
it
over
makes
Bailey.
No sense. But things could get real depressing for you, man. Packers at Lambeau. Then it goes Lions, Browns, Bears, Jets, and Colts. If they're losing to those teams, you are not going to be at a good place.
Yeah, it's like we're going to really find out where we sit in the pecking order of the league now whenever you play the Lions, Browns, Bears, Jets, and Colts in a row.
Yeah. So I'm rooting for you, man, but it's not looking good.